Spider-Man finally decides to take J. Jonah Jameson to court, suing him for defamation. Before the trial begins, Peter shares the news with MJ, telling her he isn't sure what he'll do if he wins, donate the money to charity, or keep it for himself. On the day of the hearing, Jennifer Walters and Pug discuss the case, and soon John Jameson, Jonah's son, arrives to testify. Pug argues that Spider-Man has saved countless lives, with John being one of the very first. John recalls the time his space capsule lost control and was plummeting back toward Earth, only to be saved at the last second by Spider-Man. Pug points out that despite this, Jonah published a front-page story claiming Spider-Man sabotaged the launch, but John testifies against his father, denying the accusation outright. Pug presents copies of the Daily Bugle, showing a pattern of false headlines. Each time, Spider-Man was portrayed as a menace, but the stories always proved to be lies. Jonah tries to shift the blame to Peter Parker for taking the photos, but that argument is quickly shut down as more witnesses speak out about Jonah's corrupt practices. When pressed further, Jonah urges his lawyer to find a way out. That's when the courtroom doors open, and Spider-Man himself swings in to testify. Jonah objects, claiming it's ridiculous to let someone in a mask take the stand, but Pug reveals the Avengers identity scanner, which verifies that this is indeed Spider-Man. Later, Pug displays more of Jonah's published stories, one after another, and Spider-Man debunks them in front of the court. Finally, Pug asks him directly why Jonah has such a personal vendetta against him. Spider-Man explains that Jonah resents what he represents, someone who saves lives selflessly, while Jonah profits by tearing him down. Jonah's lawyer, Richmond, counters by arguing that Spider-Man himself contributed to the rise of dangerous figures like Venom and Carnage. Spider-Man steps down, and Jonah takes the stand. He insists Spider-Man is the true cause of all the villains in New York, but Pug counters, reminding the court that Jonah personally funded several projects that created some of those very criminals. On the second day of trial, Peter Parker's called in. The defense claims Peter staged photos to sell to the Daily Bugle, tying him directly into the case. The pressure builds until Peter, as Spider-Man, tells his lawyers he wants to settle, but he has one condition. Both Jonah Jameson and Peter Parker must publicly apologize, while dressed in chicken costumes outside the Daily Bugle building. Despite Jonah's outrage, his lawyer reminds him that the lawsuit is worth $300 million. In the end, both men appear in front of the Bugle in full costume, forced to humiliate themselves as the crowd watches.